Okay, try not to have too much of a heart attack. The backyard's always a mess, but it's a lot different now. We still got this pile of wood chips, the wood from the trees I cut down, where some of it I split up to burn inside during the winter. Just left a big mess out here that needs to be cleaned up, really. We're going to start taking care of that soon, I hope. And then these bags are leaves that we've raked up, need to go. And then these two planters I'm going to redo to put some herbs on the edge of the deck, which we're working on right now. I've got some tubs and an ice chest I need to wash up, and just buckets lined up from stuff that we've been doing. And there's a blue tub up there, one of the round tubs I like to use. It's got mint in it. That's growing great. I'm surprised it lasted the winter with the unseasonable cold we had out here. And I didn't protect any of the potted plants. And there's the rabbit over there getting him some food. We need to really probably just build him a hutch and cage him into an area of the yard instead of letting him constantly run wild and dig tunnels under the deck. So, but as far as our heart attack, I know I've shot videos over here before. The Swiss chard's doing great. It's starting to make a comeback once I started fertilizing it with stuff from the radial flow filter. The spinach, I'm not sure if it's going to make it, but I'm probably going to pull some of it up and put it in the tube system to see what will happen there. This whole bed really needs to be reworked just to get some more amendments into the soil, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just pour more fish effluent in it, stir it up a little bit, leave some of the Swiss chard out here and plant some other stuff. But I've got something getting in the leaves here. Just brown spots, I don't know. So I'm just going to keep kind of playing with this bed. Then there's the tiller. It's a Sears Craftsman tiller that's got a Harbor Freight motor on it. It's one of their little 5 horsepower Predators. I've been really happy with that motor. It always starts really easily, at least if I remember to flip all the switches properly. And it's been running this tiller better than the original Briggs & Stratton, I think it was, that was on there from Craftsman. I had to put a tube in this tire. The other tire's got a little bit of a slow leak, so it has to be aired up every couple months if you're actually using it, or every month if you're actually using it. But it sits I use it, then it sits for 5 or 6 months before it's used again. Or I'll use it, my brother-in-law will use it, then it'll sit for 5 months or so. But the tines probably need to be sharpened, but it's been a good tiller. And that little motor has been, the first one I got developed a gas leak with it. It's got an on-off switch for the gas. That just within a few weeks of getting it, so they exchanged it, no problem, no questions. And this one has been just doing like gangbusters for 1.5 years now. But this, if you remember the last time I was out here, there was a bunch of wood laying around, and we finally got all that picked up and put away. Still got a few things. We were using this bucket for weeds and stuff. This barrel's got some soil in it from where we worked on the sump. I decided just to keep the soil in case I had to fill in any holes, or when I tear down the system, that'll give me something to pour back into that hole. So, because in a few months I'm probably gonna have to tear it down. Then this area had the old pallets from the IBC totes that I'd cut up for the grow beds and stuff. I hauled them off, picked up all the other trash. I've got a couple more collection barrels back there, and we're going to have to fence this in with rabbit fencing. But watermelons, cantaloupes, some of the squash and other things are going to be planted out here. So I've still got to fold up this piece of plastic, and I'm keep that IBC cage and pallet I'm going to keep because of the sump. When I pull it up, I can stick it in that cage, so when I pass it on to somebody else, they can have the full cage to use it however they want to use it. This bed we tilled up, or I tilled up. We got it cleaned up. I planted peas down the sides so they can climb up the fence, the rabbit fence. I don't care if the rabbit nibbles at them a little bit, as long as they get going before he can kill them all. Still got some weeds stuck in the fence I got to pull down. Pull that down while I'm thinking about it. And then this end, you notice it's not rowed up. It's got corn in it. It doesn't need to really be rowed for corn unless you plan on planting a big field that you got to walk through it. the more packed in the corn is, as long as it can get nutrients, the better it fertilizes. So you need at least 4 rows anyway, because the stalks help protect each other and reinforce each other from wind and things of that nature as well. So I just planted 6 wide in rows about 12 to 18 inches apart. As long as I keep it fertilized, it should do fine. So we'll see. The collards that were out here didn't do really great, but I think it was because of the cold weather. We grew them over the winter season. They did finally start doing stuff once it started warming up in the very early spring. And I did mix some more stuff into the soil. This end, I'm not sure what I'm going to plant here yet. I'm going to do it just like before with the collards. There's going to be a row to each, or a walk area down the center, and then a row on each side of that. So still debating, going back and forth. I moved some of the collards that were trying to come back. I put them in the grape bed where I've got the rutabagas and some red cabbage out there still. I'm probably not going to plant any more vegetables out there, because I want to leave the nutrients that are out there for the grapes. So whenever I fertilize it and work that soil, I want that to be for the grapes. If I pull up the stuff that's out there, I might try to put some cantaloupe or some honeydew and let them climb around in the base of the grape bed, like I did with watermelons last year. So, which is another reason for putting the watermelons out here. I can let the vines just kind of go crazy a little bit. If I plant them along the back, I'm not going to row it long ways. That way is south, that direction is south, so that's where the sun kind of comes. But at our elevation, it's almost directly overhead this time of year as it goes over. So I'm probably going to run the rows this way. Put any shorter plants or viney plants on that end that are going to stay low to the ground, and taller plants towards this direction, and work it from there. So like I said, probably be watermelons and cantaloupes and things that'll be viney and grow around on that end, and that way I can push them back towards the area that was a flower bed next to the house, that where those barrels are, that really has nothing growing in it right now but some weeds. Get that cleaned up, and we can just push the vines back that way, so we don't have to worry about running over with a lawnmower or anything else, and then just work this way with whatever else we decide to plant, and hopefully we'll get more use out of it this year. So the soon-to-be ex wanted to plant all this stuff last year, but didn't really want to weed or do any of the work, or even eat the final product to a degree. Some of the eggplant got eaten, and some of the cucumbers and stuff, but it wasn't a waste, because it was still a learning experience for me, and I greatly enjoyed that part of it. I just can't get out and do all the weeding and stuff myself, which is why that hasn't been finished weeding. My back just hasn't been up to it. I just can't do it. So I'm pretty much stove up from all the yard work we did yesterday cleaning this up. We still have, like I said, get that plastic put up, get the tiller put away, clean up some of this wood down here, get it back on the pile, do whatever we're going to do with it, and then go from there.